that I just noticed actually right before we started recording, which I think is an interesting kind of pivot point and something to talk about with this particular awards, is that 8 of the 10 Best Picture nominees won at least one award. So it was one of those years where there was not a predominant favorite. There was, and people are going to say it's ANORA, and ANORA won the most awards. It won 5. I think it won 5 of the 6 it was nominated. I don't know how many nominations it had.
I'll look it up.
But I know it won 5. Sean Baker broke the record for most wins for a single film in a single night with all 4. He won for editing, screenplay, directing, and Best Picture. And Mikey obviously won Best Lead Actress. Yura Borisov was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Kieran Culkin winded up winning for Real Pain. But I just thought that was an interesting tidbit because it shows that even the Academy, which
they were nominated for 6.
They were nominated for 6, right? So they went 5 for 6. And I just think it's a telling kind of thing with the Academy because there was a lot of controversy leading into the show with the anonymous voting and a lot of comments that were made of people saying they didn't watch Dune and they didn't watch The Brutalist and they weren't voting for this one. There were comments about how people apparently didn't vote for Ralph Fiennes because they thought he previously won for Schindler's List. He did not win for Schindler's List, but they voted for Adrian Brody because they thought he deserved it and he never won before. So there was a lot of controversy kind of along with that. But hearing Zach, just the fact that a lot of the films were kind of at least honored in some way, do you think that that's a good sign going forward in terms of the Academy Awards, or do you think it's something where it's always better for kind of the storyline to have that kind of predominant favorite?
No, I think it's good to mix it up a little bit. One thing I also took note of was that a lot of the winners this year were newcomers, except for like Adrian and Zoe. I feel like Sean Baker had his first nominations for Oscars. Kieran Culkin had his first nomination. Lowell Crawley had his first nomination. These are people who have been in the industry a long time. And Mikey Madison also had her first nomination. She's very fresh on the scene. And for the Academy to be recognizing newer people and newer stories, it shows a good segue to pass the torch and encourage new voices, new entertainers to come up. And it's nice that they have people like Ray Fiennes and Coleman Domingo and like Fernanda Torres. She's been in the industry. Demi Moore, she's been in the industry. So there's lots of people that got the recognition with the nom, but they also gave it to people who are equally as deserving, if not more deserving. And I think that it's important that they dice it up a little bit. Like, as much as I love Return of the King, having a 13 award sweep is kind of demoralizing. The whole night you're sitting there, you're like, really? Like, when's it gonna be our shot? It is kind of tough to work your whole life for that moment, and then it's all just going to one thing. And because it's like, what does 13 opposed to like 7 really mean to the film? It's still very award worthy. It just might not have been worth all of those extra ones. So I think it's good to spread it out where you can.
Yeah.
But
Liz?
I fully agree. I think that I don't know. It just starts to get stale when it's like the same people going up there. And then also it's like, what do they say at a certain point? And when even like Sean Baker, I really enjoyed his speeches as he got like later on, like the one about going to the theater, I thought was really great. But it's also because he hasn't really had this opportunity or platform to be on a stage like that. I think that the more diverse and the more films that get awarded, the better. Especially because certain films, like, I don't know, to award one film that many awards is crazy to me.
Yeah, I agree.
That's crazy. And also, I don't know, it also makes me seem like, okay, did they not watch any of the other films and like truly not think anything could compete against it?
Well, now I have that thought a lot more after hearing the anonymous Oscar
some of what
ballots
these
that people are like,
said.
no, which that's my, honestly, like, the award show's one thing. Like, I thought it was an overall good. I actually think I put it in our group chat. I was like, I feel like for the first time in a long time, my personal opinion, I thought that Best Picture the last 3 years in a row all went to the deserving winner. Now, people might disagree with that, but I just felt like, at least in terms of the show's biggest award, they've done a really good job.